Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to study a short story, Am I Blue, written by Alice Walker. Alice Walker was born in Africa and she migrated to America. At present, she is living in America. She is a famous story writer and poetess. You can see the picture, the photograph of Alice Walker. Her eyes are eloquent. It appears she is asking something. It appears she is giving a message to the world. It appears that she wants to know something that happened to the black Negroes. She was born in 1944. She is an American poetess and fiction writer. She got many frustration in love and marriage. Her father's great-great-grandmother was a slave, and she is proud that her grandmother was a slave. She's proud of that inheritance. She's a vegetarian, a gardener, a world traveler, and a spiritual explorer. She wants to know about the existence of the human being in this world. She wrote poetry, she wrote short stories, she wrote novels. And the first collection of her poetry came, that was Once. The first collection of story writers, that is In Love and Trouble. The best novel, The Color Purple, appeared in 1982, that got the prize Pulitzer Award. And that is another novel in which she examines the relation between sexuality and spirituality, that is By the Light of Father's Smile. An epic novel, The Temple of My Familiar, is very popular novel. And she believed, I quote, time moves slowly but passes quickly, unquote. Very beautiful quotation. She wants to say, it is the time which moves slowly, slowly when we wait something. But when we do something, when we think something, then the time passes quickly. It is the nature of the time. Now there is another beautiful quotation given by Alice Walker. I quote, thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say. I say that one a lot. Thank you expresses extreme gratitude, humility, and understanding, unquote. That quotation defines Alice Walker in what manner she passed her life. Now I come to the story, Am I Blue? This story is about the experience of the dumb animals, in what manner the human beings behave with the dumb animals. It also gives the law of cause and effect, the powerful message of the story, that of oneness of life. And it also gives a message that we should have respect for all that we are living on this earth. She also talks about black and white. She also talks about racism, in what manner the black people are exploited by the white people. And she says a very common thing, very patriarchal attitude, that human beings have different attitude towards animals. And the story begins with a powerful message. Message, I quote, are not these tears in these eyes telling you, unquote. The eyes of the animals speak something. The eyes of the animal say something. They want to say something to the human beings, but the human beings are totally deaf and dumb and blind to the feelings of the animals. The story boy, the narrator boy, tells the story of a Blue. Blue is a horse, and they were living in a house that has many windows, and that house was surrounded by a terrace. There was a white horse that was cropping the grass, flipping its mane, ambling about. The horse was find in this surrounding, in this garden. It was the habit of the storyteller boy that he used to pick up the apples and patiently hold those apples one by one up to the large mouth of the horse. But the boy forgot the depth of feeling one could see in the horse's eyes. The boy happened to read some certain love in the eyes of the horse. The boy happened to read certain feelings in the eyes of the horse. But after some time, Blue was lonely. There was no company to the Blue. That was the horrible loneliness in the life of that Blue. The writer wants to say that human animals and non-human animals can communicate quite well. She wants to say that non-human animals can also speak. They have their own feelings, they have their own tears, but we are the human beings. We fail to understand, we fail to read the feelings of the animals. Then the writer turns to slavery. She talks about the white people. She talks about the black people. Generally, it is found that the white children are reared up by the black women, and it is the type of slavery. I quote, well, about slavery, about white children who were praised by the black people, who knew their first all accepting love from black women, and then are told they must forget the deep levels of communication between themselves and mammy that they know, unquote. When a black woman rears a white children, definitely she develops affection, she develops love, she develops a deep level of communication with that boy. But when the boy becomes young, that boy goes away, the relations are forgotten. And generally white people comment about the black women, about the Negroes, I quote, I cannot understand these Negroes, these blacks, what they want. They are so different from us, unquote. See, these are the attitude of the white women toward the Negroes, toward the black women. The same thing happened to the settlers. Indians were the settlers to the British. India was a British colony to the white people. But they used to say that was insulting remark about the Indians, that we are treated as settlers. And writer says that the white people do atrocities to the white people, to the black people, and to the settlers. Now the writer comes to the Americans. What is the attitude of the Americans toward the women of the different countries? I quote, and about the thousands of American men who marry Japanese, Korean, Philippine, and other non-English speaking women, and how they report they are blissfully until their brides learn to speak English, at which point the marriage fell apart, unquote. See, the white people, the American people marry the non-English speaking women. They live together, they enjoy life together, but after some time when the non-speaking people, non-English speaking women learn English, they understand what these white people want. Their marriages are broken, their relations are broken. They become the item of pleasure, they become the item of exploitation. The writer raises his voice against all these things. The writer comments, what white people see in the eyes of the women they married before they could speak English. When they start to speak English, means they forget the relations, and that is a quite disturbing feeling of the writer towards the Negroes. Again, the writer turns back to the life of Blue. The writer wants to say the animals are complete creations. They behave like the human beings. And writer passes the comment, I quote, they are in fact completed creations who are not likely to change. It is their nature to express themselves, and they do. And generally speaking, but they are ignored, unquote. The writer says that we live in the company of the animals, Animals live in the company of the human beings. They have relations with the human beings, but human beings ignore them. One day, what happened in the life of Blue, that a female horse happened to come there. There was another horse, a brown one. Blue decided to make friends, and two horses ambled or galloped along together. They used to start crop the grass together. They used to walk side by side together in the compound. And in the eyes of Blue, there was a look of independence, that for the first time, the animal was living with a company. There was a feeling of self-possession. Of that was feeling of likeness, of hoarseness. They were living together, and in the company living together, his friend became eventually pregnant. See in what manner the animals become friends. The look in the Blue's eyes was one of unabashed. This is itness, this is oneness, this is hoarseness. And the animals have good feelings with each other, and which the human beings fail to understand. One day what happened, that the female horse was taken back by the owner. The narrator boy asked simply whether she would come back. She would not come back. The female horse would not come back. The mare would not come back. When the company of the mare horse went away, the horse Blue was like a crazed person, was a disturbed person. He developed relation with that mare. He developed feeling with that mare, but she has gone. He butted against his single shade tree. He was disturbed. He looked away towards the road down which his partner had gone. His look was perishing, disturbing, so full of grief. It looked so human. And see in what manner the Blue horse developed feeling with the mare, but that was taken away. There are people who do not know what animals suffer. See the comment. The human fail to understand when the two animals are parted away. They have love for each other. The same condition happened with the slaves. The male female live together. When the one is sold or other is not sold, the same feeling occurred in the minds of the slaves. Writer passes a beautiful comment. People forget, daily forget, that all that animal try to tell, that all the animals try to tell something, that they have love, they have feelings. The writer notices in Blue's brown eyes, there was a painful look, a look of separation, a look of distress, a look of suffering. That was a look of despair. That was a look of disgust with the human beings. It was a look of angry with the life. It was a look of hatred. The writer believes that the same condition happens with the black and white. The black and white mentality work together. The moment we rise above the barriers, we see this sacred stream of compassion flow freely. The writer wants to say that when we rise from these feelings of distress, despair, then the feelings of freedom, the feelings of justice will flow freely. She wants to give message to the humanity that human beings should have feelings with the slaves. Human beings should have feelings with the animals, because they have also their feelings. They have also their compassion. They have also their friendly attitude. Thank you.